Happy Cinco de Mayo! Woo!
Yay! And whatever that means for you.
Look it up, understand its historical significance, celebrate appropriately or not at all.
Was it you who had said, was it last year or the year before, like, on Cinco de Mayo, everybody goes like for dinner to get Mexican food. And like if you're trying to order directly through them, like a lot of places just don't even answer their phone because they're so booked already. And like for DoorDash and Uber Eats and stuff, like people schedule sometimes their dinners. So like good luck getting a meal anytime actually on Cinco de Mayo if you want it delivered to you.
It does kind of feel like that thing where you go like, hey, we're going to celebrate Cinco de Mayo. We're going to go have Mexican food, which is like a thing. And, you know, you just decide like, you know what, why don't we just go on like the Tuesday before?
You need to go either yesterday or tomorrow.
The Tres de Mayo or the Siesta de Mayo. You know, I mean, it's going to be the same food.
Today, you need to pick a cuisine that's the opposite. And then that way you'll have less weight and then celebrate it tomorrow.
So you go to Tim Hortons then.
Something like that, yeah.
Today in the podcast, aside from Cinco de Mayo, you know what? I picked up some Powerbeats, or I will when the show's over today. We talked Boost Mobile and getting an appointment with your doctor. Roger Ebert's TV, a Harvard study on doodling, Pokemon cards again.
And cereal.
Again. Let's see. Snoring. More talk about snoring and neck fat. Apple Care, Anderson Cooper.
The neck fat goes with the snoring.
And TV, social media, and you.
There you go. Enjoy the podcast today. Thank you for listening. And as always, please say hi. Introduce yourself by texting 877-2RadioU. Say, hey, I'm a podcast listener. Let us know your name. And if you ever want us to say hello or if you have a story you want us to cover in the next podcast, send it to us.
All right. You guys have a great day.
Bye.
Bye.
The Riot RadioU.
So, Nikki, yesterday, I was supposed to buy the AirPods Pro.
Oh, did you decide you're going to get them?
And I bought something else instead.
Uh-oh, what'd you get?
Not the Samsungs.
Yeah.
Not the, and I mean, the M Wows, the M Buds.
There's a lot of variations of the in-ear
Twist,
pods.
like what everybody, the Raycons, everybody had suggestions, which I appreciate, by the way.
The bone ones, all of them.
Bone conduction, yeah. You know what? I went with Powerbeats Pro.
Oh, did you?
I did.
So still pro. Technically, you're still in the pro world.
No one suggested them.
Well, why do you feel like you should try it then?
Well, as I was browsing headphones, I was looking through them and I thought, wait a minute, like these are designed for workouts. I like the over-the-ear design. And that just has to do with, you know, as I've told you guys, my ears are oddly proportioned. The holes aren't quite right in there. And so those ear hooks, I was like, you know what,
you think that'll be helpful?
That'll help. Yeah.
So what were they called?
They're the Powerbeats Pro. So they are the, like in-ear Beats, whatever. And I know you're like, you're paying for a name. Well, here's the thing. They retail for like $250 or something. And I love this so much. Apparently the pair they couldn't really sell were the red ones.
Yeah.
I'm fine with that.
Yes. So those are cheaper?
They were $150.
It is pretty good price.
So I went ahead and bought Apple Care for them.
Yeah, because I mean, technically it's still Apple. So
they are Apple. And I was like,
that does work.
So 2 years of Apple Care for my workout headphones seemed reasonable. So I went for it.
Okay. Looks good. Yep. I haven't seen those before. I mean, maybe I have. I just haven't noticed it.
I don't think I've seen them in the wild at all. But I mean, I read a bunch of reviews. They seem to be okay. It was the original Powerbeats that were just like nefariously well known. That's before Apple bought them as being like, these will fall apart.
So did you try them yet for a workout, or are you going to do that today?
I have ordered them for a curbside pickup
later today.
Yes.
You'd be like, hey guys, can you deliver it to the gym? So like, is that weird?
We didn't say which curb.
Exactly. I mean, like how much do you want me to buy these?
So
what are you willing to do?
That's what I landed on. And I feel like they were at $150. That's still a lot, but well, whatever. I mean, when I start working out next year, I want to make sure
that you've got the nicest ones possible.
That I've got something I can really, really enjoy.
His other earbuds died, you lost them, so you need a new pair.
Yeah, and that's the nice thing about these being red. I'm hoping that they will stick out.
Yeah, you'll notice them.
That's what I'm hoping.
The worst of the worst. Are you ready? The Riot Podcast. RadioU.
So who do you get your mobile service through? Verizon, AT&T, Sprint?
Are there any others?
T-Mobile. There's actually, if you go down the line a little bit, there's a lot of quote-unquote inexpensive ways to do cell phone service.
They're all owned using
they use the networks
other stuff.
Yeah. But, you get what, like me, I buy my cell phone service through my cable company. And you're like, that's crazy. No, what do I pay? $40 a month. Now, you understand that I pay $800 million for internet service, and that price continues to go up.
You wish they could have bundled that together.
Well, I do
that's all right.
I get a discount for being a customer.
That's good.
I don't know that it evens out. Anyway, Nikki, let's talk Boost Mobile.
Sure.
Boost uses, I don't know which one of the...
Do they use Verizon's?
I don't know which one of the networks they use, but I do know this, that if you sign up for Boost Unlimited subscription, which is $60 a month. So, but I believe it to be like if you do $60 a month, there's no contract.
They use Sprint's network.
They use Sprint.
Mm-hmm.
Moving on.
Does that change opinions on it?
Well, no, it's just that, networks really depend on where you live.
Sure.
And I've had some Sprint issues, but I digress. Here we have their new hook is that you get free unlimited telemedicine. So you will become a part of what they call the K-Health Network.
Yeah.
And you will have access to doctor's appointments via phone.
Yeah.
For free.
So like a teledoc sort of thing, and the appointment is free?
Yep.
That's interesting.
It is.
I don't know why,
how does that work?
I don't know why they thought, I would have just wanted a lower price.
Well, now,
I guess they think that is an incentive, I guess.
One of the things that Engadget says, by the way, they're opening it up to other. So let's say you have Boost, but you're not unlimited.
Yeah.
You can buy the service for $9 a month.
Sure. Now, it's not like healthcare insurance. It's just the ability to have a free doctor appointment through an app.
Right. So I'm going to make an assumption here I don't know about, but I assume that doctor you see via a telehealth visit would be able to prescribe something for you.
So it's like an urgent care sort of visit.
But free?
Yeah.
Ish?
I guess.
Free?
All right.
With purchase?
I didn't see that
free
one.
Doctor's
I didn't
visit
see
with
it
purchase?
being medical. I didn't see that being the option. That's weird, Boost.
It's weird, but again, Engadget's speculation. Here's what they say, that Boost Mobile, they're the kind of company that they have a tendency to have a lower income base. And so whereas, if you had the money for a month, you knew you had the money for a monthly cell phone bill, you probably wouldn't go to Boost. I don't necessarily believe that to be true.
Sure.
But this is their speculation. Because believe me, I have money and I'm still looking for the cheapest way out.
Everybody wants the least, less expensive.
But they're saying that would be attractive to someone who might not be able to afford.
You see
XYZ.
the joke in it though for Boost? Isn't the shots like Booster? You could call it Booster
Give
Mobile.
Give your health a boost.
It's Booster Mobile. If you need a shot.
You know what? Nikki and we can design your whole campaign. If
we can. I could see it right now.
Though, unlike that teledoc, it's not free.
No, exactly.
And it's going to be more than $60 a month.
I guess you just need to look around because it really just depends on your area. It's the most important thing on which network will actually work for you.
Yeah.
You can't go by price at first. You got to find out what actually works where you're at.
But
Then go by price.
Yeah. But I will say, for what it's worth, as someone who recently had to do some digging for the cheapest possible cell phone service, you should look around.
What was the one that you couldn't, that everybody couldn't get out of? Was that the Sprint one that you had for like 99 cents or something?
Oh, yeah. I did a whole year of unlimited service for 99 cents, and everybody said it was hard to get out.
But you were good?
I didn't have any trouble at all.
Well, now... no, they could still pop back up.
It actually was like $3.79. I had to pay tax.
That was it. Yeah, for the year.
That was the craziest deal ever.
Don't say we didn't warn you. This is the worst of the riot.
So, Nikki, this weekend we get Jupiter's Legacy on Netflix.
Which one's that one?
That's it's a new and exciting and
Don't have to say it that way.
Undoubtedly hugely unique superhero show.
Oh.
That's coming to Netflix this Friday. So it actually, I remember seeing a trailer for it and it looked you hate being a sucker for what they're just obviously like.
Pushing at you.
You like superheroes. This is superheroes. You like this. You like this. So, but it looks kind of interesting, and I think I'm going to watch it.
The style looks like, what's the one on Amazon that's where
The
they're
Boys?
not? Yeah, that one. It kind of reminds me a bit of that.
Yeah, I don't know if it's supposed to have a similar tone
To it,
or not, because The Boys is very
negative.
the negative.
The negative.
Yeah, I think that's
not as positive.
That's a fair way to start.
As maybe you're used to superhero stuff being.
Yeah. So I don't know, but yeah, that starts this weekend. That looks kind of cool. And then also, what's the other thing that's happening? People like the Mythic Quest.
Which one's that one?
You know what? It's on Apple, which already nobody knows.
Well, no, thank you then.
Yeah. And then there's also, I believe it's coming this Friday, is Selena, which is based on the life of the
singer?
It's not K-pop.
No,
but, the Latino pop singer.
Yeah, that's the second season of that.
The second season?
Yeah, I think so. It's been out for a while. Remember how we talked about, like, sometimes you go to Netflix and then you go to someone else's profile and you're like surprised at what all's there? That you never get pushed it?
Second season.
I think it's the second season, so I'm pretty sure about that.
I love that so much. I'm like, oh yeah, it's brand new.
Well, technically, I mean, everything's new to you.
You haven't seen it yet.
I do believe it's the second season, but I'll look it up.
That's okay. Oh, and good. The Handmaid's Tale is back. I can't wait to see more memes about the terrible world we live in.
Sure.
With those stupid outfits on them.
Yeah, is that already back or did that just start?
I think it might have started back last week.
Yeah, I was going to say it's already.
Yeah.
But not it's not, it's
like
many,
third or
seasons
fourth
in.
season. I know that.
Okay,
because, again, I had to listen to all the tales of this is the actual America we live in right now. No, it's not. Yes, it is.
Shh, you're just talking about what's coming out.
Sorry.
That's it.
Just honest reaction. Mm-hmm. Just how I'm feeling.
Is that it for this weekend? Is there no bigger ones?
There's like those. I feel like the biggest one that's hitting really is that
the Jupiter's Legacy.
The Jupiter's Legacy thing. There's something called Shrill, the third season of that starts on Hulu. I don't know what that is. That's all I got for you, Nikki.
Okay.
So I guess there's no reason to. Oh, the season finale of Magnum P.I. is Friday.
Okay, so it's still a rebuilding weekend.
That's right.
For shows that we want to watch.
It was bad enough the first time around, but now it's worse. Don't believe us? Just keep listening. You'll find out soon enough. This is the Worst of the Riot podcast.
Let's talk about what's happening in Orlando this week. You're like,
vacations? Is that what's happening?
I love that. Do you know Orlando is a magic place? I really want to be a part of it.
Expensive, but, magical.
Yeah, well, here's the deal. They opened the world's largest White Castle there.
Oh, I saw the lines. What is that? And you're like, is it that bad? No, you need to look up the lines. It was all over TikTok.
It was, there were people taking video of it. The line to get into this White Castle was over a mile long.
It reminds me of, in some
drive-thru
areas, when it becomes new, like if you get a Chick-fil-A, an In-N-Out, or a Krispy Kreme. Like those are kind of like the three, if your area's never had it can bring in the lines. But for White Castle, I was really shocked.
Well, and here's what's even weirder. I just assumed for this to be such a big deal, this must be the first White Castle they've gotten in Orlando or Florida or whatever.
I think it is. I thought they said that was the first one for that area.
Well, okay. There was another White Castle, according to what I read yesterday, 20 minutes away.
Well, then why the need for the line?
Yeah, it's one of those things where, yes, technically, maybe there hasn't been one inside the city limits of Orlando.
Sure.
But it's not like this is an area completely bereft of White Castle options.
When I saw the footage of the line, people waiting to go through the drive-thru and go there, I thought it was just like, oh, that's a line for something else, and they're just lying. Maybe not.
Well, when I saw it, my first thought was, I just thought the whole thing was a joke.
Sure.
Like somebody had managed to film something and they're like, White Castle line. No, it's real.
It is
They had hundreds of people that camped out overnight to be among the first.
Yeah.
I couldn't find out if they were giving some kind of swag or like something away to incentivize people. They must have had something.
So the White Castle in Orlando set a single day sales record Monday for when it was its opening day. The previous record had been for Scottsdale, Arizona in 2019. They said their grand opening exceeded their expectations, beat the previous record by over 15%. And this is the first White Castle in Florida since the 1960s. So I don't think there is another one. Maybe that one. I don't think that's a White Castle.
All right. Well, that confuses me because that was the other thing I saw trending on Twitter yesterday was how close the other White Castle was to it. Maybe that wasn't true.
I don't know. Don't
believe what you read on the internet, kids.
It's 4,500 square feet. It's near Walt Disney World, and it is open 9 a.m. till 1 a.m., but eventually it'll be a 24-hour one.
Oh, yeah.
So it's the largest White Castle in the system, and they figured that Florida would be good for that.
I don't understand that. You know what? Again, lied to by Twitter, I guess. So all right, I'll say this much. That makes the lines make like a little more sense.
Sure.
But I'll just tell you, in line.
Okay, now I know the other details. Are you ready?
Yeah.
So White Castle opened a ghost kitchen near downtown Orlando in February, but it didn't have a dining room. So it was a ghost kitchen. And then because of the demand, they might reopen that one. So maybe that's it.
Maybe that's where they were getting that.
Yeah, this is the first White Castle in Florida, like store-wise, that you can go in and all that stuff.
In the meantime, I'm going to tell you right now, there's a toilet paper shortage in Orlando.
That's not true. You're adding that.
You know what, Nikki?
It'd be in a week or two. It's not now.
Have you heard of deductive reasoning?
Yeah,
I can tell you that there is now a toilet paper shortage, and there isn't Pepto for 50 miles.
Well, if you want to just be shocked, look up the Orlando lines for the White Castle for Monday when they opened.
What's this line for? Oh, this is the line for the Walmart pharmacy.
Well, it's so long that I thought that in the back people would just be not knowing, like
they wouldn't know what it is.
Like thinking there's an accident or something. Right. Should I go around or not? But they were waiting.
It just goes the whole way. I mean, that's going to show up on your traffic report.
It would.
You won't hear a show like this anywhere else. And that's probably for the best. The worst of the riot. Radio U.
Looking at this next story, I'm not sure if I should start by explaining to you what a Kid Rock is or what a colostomy bag is.
Maybe, yeah, you should.
Okay, so we'll start with Kid Rock. He's, a rock, kind of a southern fried rock. He's got a bar in Nashville.
Sure.
He's a rocker.
Yeah.
The bar. Nashville. So colostomy bag is something that gets attached to you on the outside that connects to your large intestine, and instead of going potty.
Yeah, it's in the bag.
It's in the bag. Well, there was a man at Kid Rock's bar the other night in which we don't know exactly what happened, but he decided to take that bag and start swinging it around.
At the bar?
At the bar.
And so did it come out or did it just?
Yes.
Oh, it did. Okay.
And you ready?
Yeah.
This was night number 2 of him doing it.
Really?
He was like, man, we had so much fun last night. Let's do it again.
They said this is the third time I've heard this guy the past 2 nights of having issues. So he kept just getting into conflicts with people, and this would be how he would respond to the conflicts.
The police would show up and he would begin, and I quote this article, flinging poo.
And people had needed, it seems like, medical attention at different times. Because I think when you encounter someone's stuff, then you have to see somebody about that. just to make sure, just to be double checking.
At the very least, get cleaned up.
Oh,
right?
my gosh. Why would you do it? Well, he's probably intoxicated, so he was drunk.
I'll just tell you right now. And I mean this in the nicest way possible. But if you told me that somebody was flinging poo at the Kid Rock bar, I'd be like, man, That just sounds like Tuesday to me.
It does. And the fact it's in Nashville, if you've ever been to the bar scene in Nashville, or even like, what is it, like the honky tonk sort of row?
Yeah, that row.
Oh my gosh. Like the public intoxication there is bad.
And it's not illegal.
It's not like, it is bad. And so you could just be walking around like, hey, let's tour Nashville. Let's just go eat. Let's do something. You have to be prepared for that.
People are so wasted.
All the time, especially on that street.
Yeah, and to be clear, it's not like they're wasted. Man, I was out at 1 o'clock there. No, they start early.
Early in the day.
They start early in Nashville.
Oh, that's too bad. Let's not fight that way, all right? Let's not do that.
Well, to me, this just feels like one of those things where, you know how they do the anti-drinking PSAs or whatever? Mm-hmm. This, like, do you want to find yourself in this circumstance?
Situation?
I mean, like, it feels like a cautionary tale.
I like, though, this person's comment. Like, this article is written, like, this person's having fun. At the end of their article, they're like, looks like Nashville's finally getting back to normal. So their take on that, they're staying positive, even with all these issues.
That seems perfectly reasonable to me.
Yeah.
You were one of the lucky few who missed the riot when they were live. Yet here you are.
I also like to live dangerously.
This is the Worst of the Riot podcast.
So I found myself in a boring meeting yesterday.
Oh, say the length again. 2-hour meeting.
Yeah.
I think that's important to know.
So, okay, here's the thing I do want to throw out. I think what you said is really true. I don't think everybody hates that.
Sure.
Like, I think there are personality types and people that would be like, yeah, this is great. We're really getting something done. Like, I'm interested and I'm engaged and all that kind of stuff. And I just, what I'm trying to say is it's not you. It's me.
It actually is.
It's me.
Well, Rachel texted in and said, Obi, I'll be doodling with you. So Obi was doodling during the meeting, and that just helped him cope through the 2 hours. And then Aaron texted, said, I once wrote part of a story in a really boring meeting. I figured if anyone noticed, they'd think I was taking notes.
I love it.
That's a great idea.
So, Nikki, 26 of 44 American presidents doodle.
In meetings?
Doodle during their meetings. Mm-hmm. And so here's what they have found.
Presidential material.
I'm telling you what, like, go ahead. I'm right up after what's his face. Sign me in.
Ready to go.
Yep. So they did a study at Harvard in which they had a group of people listen to a 2-minute and 30-second, very dull, rambling voicemail message. Mm-hmm. Their description, not mine. Then half of them, they were like, you can doodle, like, while you listen. And the other half, they're like, pay attention. What they didn't know is that there was a quiz at the end. And in each circumstance, the doodlers remembered more
than the non-doodlers?
Than the non-doodlers, even to the point where it was about 29% more information was recalled by the doodlers than the non-doodlers.
Interesting. Now, do they count, like, for doodling if you're writing notes but doodling around it? Do you know what I mean with that?
I do.
So, like, is that the doodling they're meaning? Or is this doodling that has nothing to do with any of the information you're processing?
They do not say, but let me read you this paragraph. This is good from Harvard. When you're bored, your fight or flight system will do all that it can to rally and stay alert. Doodling, which is a form of fidgeting, may be a last-ditch attempt at staying awake and attentive. Doodling keeps you from falling asleep or simply staring blankly when your brain has been turned off. The permission to free draw keeps your brain online a while longer.
So it's helpful for you. That's great.
It was. So all I'm saying is, don't come down on the doodlers of the world, okay? Maybe we're built differently than you, and we needed that.
But maybe if you are someone who's in a position where you have to be a part of a lot of meetings and you are now becoming a doodler, you wear like a shirt or you're giving a heads up to the people so that they know that you're actually able to pay attention better.
Oh, so like people know you go into the meeting like I'm doodling, but I'm still paying attention?
Yeah, because they might not know and they might get mad at you. But instead, you tell them ahead of time, like, hey, you might see me doodle. I pay attention better that way. Or stop having 2-hour-long meetings.
I'll tell you right now, my R2-D2 was on point.
Did you do that for the 4th yesterday?
I did. Somebody put a little May the 4th be with you sign up, and I was like, okay, I'll draw all those. little Darth Vader mask.
And it helped.
It did. I remember.
Find more Riot content online. riot.radiou.com.
Nikki, do you know who Molly McIntyre is?
Molly McIntyre. I don't
What about
know.
Kirsten Larson?
No, I don't think so.
Are you sure?
Well, maybe
Are you, and you can only do this, are you playing dumb?
No, I don't, but maybe I just need to see what they look like.
Okay, here, Nikki, take a look. Everybody hang on.
As you send it to me?
Send this over to Nikki so she can get a look at these celebrities that are celebrating this month.
Okay, I'm looking for the American Girl doll.
Molly McIntyre, Kirsten Lawson.
No.
They're bringing them back, Nikki.
What are they? Oh, they're old dolls. Oh, so that's their names?
Yeah.
See, I never got into American Girl doll when I was younger.
That was not your thing?
No, I never had dolls. I always had stuffed animals. So not far off, but
I was really into American Girl dolls there for a while.
you had your phase.
Oh, yeah. It was great because I felt like she was expressing me. And we were friends.
Dude, all I see there is when I look at it, I just see money.
Millions of dollars.
Money. That stuff probably so expensive.
All I see is one time I went, so at our mall, there's an American Girl doll thing.
Yeah.
And one Saturday I went there for I don't even know what, and it looked like some sort of a convention. They had some event at the American Girl store, and there were just all of these girls wandering around
with
dressed
dolls?
Exactly like their doll.
Sure.
And it was just this moment of like, what's going on?
Not our scene.
What is this?
But I'm sure for them it's cute.
I hope this is not some sort. Never mind.
So I'm sorry. Is American Girl doll 35 years old, or is this just? See, these are the original dolls that they first came out with.
These are the original American Girl dolls.
Oh, okay.
And 35
they look colonial,
years.
so they look they look different.
Okay, yeah. Well,
or
the
prairie.
girl in this photo, all the way over to the right, she seems like a modern, educated woman.
She does on the right side?
All the way on the right, you see there with her glasses and her plaid shirt.
Sure, I guess.
And her confident stroll. Look how confident that
is. Her hands up waving.
She's confident.
She is.
She's confident.
Which I'm sure the dolls helped at that time.
I'm sure they probably did. Man, I'll tell you what it really looks like.
What?
They have stolen and implanted the souls.
That's because of the Annabelle stuff and like all the doll things now. We only know it based on that. There's no souls of people in these dolls.
Yeah, that's exactly what I would expect you to say.
Is that why they're so expensive?
If that's what you were doing. You're like, this is nonsense, referring to these lifelike items that cry sometimes at night.
Are things moving in the house? Listen, if they want to come in the house and they're moving and they want to like help with laundry, well, that's fine. Come on in.
American Girl will not come into your house unless invited.
They can't be in until they're invited. Don't be worried, guys, but that's the first sign something's wrong.
American Girl may not cast a shadow.
When you look in the mirror, you can't see them. It's all the things we know.
Don't be alarmed. American Girl's lack of reflection is to keep only you looking at it.
So your eyes are only focused on that. Oh, I think we just ruined American Girl doll if you had any memories of that when you were younger growing up. Sorry, guys.
Sometimes American Girl doll is known to float through the air and utter guttural noises. This is perfectly normal.
Is that blood coming out of their eyes?
No.
Are they crying blood?
No.
Again, that's probably why they're so expensive. They offer so much more than we thought.
I'm telling you, there's just a lot of features that people haven't been aware of. So you go get them, Kirsten and Molly.
All the old doll names. So, yeah, they're reintroducing the 35th anniversary for all the original dolls.
It's fantastic. So
6 original historical characters is what it is.
I mean, what do you think? 300? 400?
Oh, to pay
1,000?
for it?
Yeah. What's that cost?
Probably maybe a couple $100. I don't know.
I'm just going to say it again. Every time we look at stuff like this, my PlayStation seems cheaper and cheaper.
Think of it as athleisure for your ears. RadioU's Worst of the Riot podcast.
So I recently helped a friend of mine purchase an 82-inch TV. And the part about it that was the scariest for me is that it just didn't seem that big.
Well, you could go bigger now.
It was just like,
And I think that bugs certain people to say that. But then if you're into TV stuff or electronics, like, you understand. Now they're more affordable than ever. And the 82 doesn't seem as out of the price range anymore.
I was like, 82 inches, $1,400. Okay, let's see. I sell this, I sell that. I save for this many months. I do this, I do that. Pretty soon, 82-inch TV.
Done. It's there.
What are you doing with your life right now?
Well, you're doing something.
I am. Well, it's something to keep in mind, Nikki, is that while that 82-inch TV didn't look huge to me, there is this great video circulating on Twitter of Roger Ebert. Do you remember him?
Was he the movie review guy?
He was a film critic. He died a couple of years ago.
Yeah.
He had cancer. He had to have his jaw removed. And so that became something he was known for. And so he quit doing audio reviews and he only did written reviews. But back in the 80s, he had a TV show that was really popular, Siskel and Ebert.
Okay.
So they are, if you ever hear somebody say 2 thumbs up.
Oh, that was from their show?
That was their show. Like 1 thumb up, 2 thumbs up, depending on the critic.
And I'm sorry, they just used to review movies?
That's correct.
They had a TV show?
TV.
Reviewing movies?
There were 3 channels.
How funny.
On one of the 3 channels, they would show their show.
The time would, now everything's more instant. So it'd be weird to think that they must have made a show, had enough notice, put the show out, and the movie still wasn't out at that time, but encouraging you to go see it.
Oh, that's
weird.
That's the way things like that worked back in the day, Nikki. So there is this video of him from 1988 showing off the place, his
going through his house,
home entertainment room, in which he has a massive.
Oh, it was in his basement.
45-inch TV.
Well, he called it the Orson. Oh my gosh, it's so small. He called it the Orson Welles room in 1988. It was just in his basement. He would watch movies on it.
Yes.
Well, I guess that was large TV size then.
It was. And it's just hilarious to look at it because you're like,
look at the remote. Look at the body on the TV. Like, it's just big because it was a big box.
It's huge. And then, you might know what a DVD or a Blu-ray looks like. He's got a Laserdisc player. Mm-hmm. And it almost looks like a joke when he holds the Laserdisc. It's like LP shaped or size, like a big album.
Yeah.
But it looks like a DVD. And he's explaining to them how it's so high resolution. You get 425 lines of resolution. Okay,
so just out of curiosity, with watching, because I'm actually watching him tour the room.
Yeah.
You said it was like Laserdisc and all the stuff you would watch things on. Was that a current TV then for that time?
Yes.
Okay, so
that was a very high end.
It's got like a wood trim around it. It's something.
Yeah. Whereas now
it's fun to see.
They try to get the bezel as small as possible. This thing's a piece of furniture.
It is. It takes up that space.
Yeah, it's
fun.
Huge. Yeah. It's just kind of interesting to see, and it gives me all this hope for the future because right now I'm like, this 82-inch TV doesn't seem that big, man. It's only going to get bigger. Things only going to get crazier.
Well, this part's funny too. The 50-inch screen, which originally he had wanted, would not fit down the stairs, down his basement.
Yeah.
So he couldn't have that one. He had to have the 45-inch.
Well, you know what? That just goes to show you the argument over whether the TV is big enough. That's not new.
Oh, it's a tale as old as time.
At least as old as television.
Oh, it's fun to see an older clip like that.
Yeah. So, you know what? Just remember that the size of the TV is all in the eye of the beholder. He was thrilled with his 45-inch TV.
Sure.
I'm looking at an 82 going, I think we can do better, guys.
We can get bigger with this.
That's right.
Is it healthy eating so many snacks, chips, and Oreos every single morning? No, of course not. But they do it for you.
Too many guys got the stomach for this line of work.
That's real love. It's the Riot on RadioU.
I think it was around this time yesterday that we were talking about the huge market for Pokemon cards these days.
Sure.
Okay, I need you to look at the link I just sent you and scroll down and look at the photo.
Okay.
It's insane. So General Mills has teamed up with the Pokemon Company and you can get 3 free trading cards, or 3 free Pokemon cards.
Sure.
Inside a box of family-sized cereal.
And at these locations, they have these security tags that are kind of like wrapped around the cereal box because people are probably stealing the cards out of the boxes.
Yeah, they are.
And so they're not taking the cereal. They're just taking the cards out, and they have to lock them up this way.
Well, here's the weird thing about it to me is that if you're just stealing the cards, couldn't you still just crack open that box and like...
I think they're just trying to make you scared enough to not do it. It's no different than, what was it, a few months ago, McDonald's had the Pokemon stuff in their Happy Meals.
Yeah.
And man, people went like the real life human version of bots, you know, like
they just went crazy.
Just went crazy to go buy them all up and then try to resell them so that, you know, people who were just little and wanted a little Happy Meal toy.
Fun.
Yeah, like they couldn't even get any.
Yeah. Well,
why do we got to ruin everything? Why?
It does feel like there is, across everything in all of our lives, the intensity level has just been cranked up.
Yeah.
So it's like, oh, hey, here's this nice thing. And like, I'll take the nice thing.
I'll ruin it.
I'll put it on eBay. You'll pay me 10 times what it's worth if you want something nice.
Yeah, I saw some videos of these people who would buy up stuff at like Walmart and then sell it. And it's like they'd leave the store with like 60 of these items. Like, well, why can't you just... why does it have to be about you? Why do you have to be so selfish? Why? Why do you have to take everything?
Because,
and that includes the Pokemon cards and the cereal boxes.
I mean, to a certain extent, I guess I'm guilty of this because a few years ago, I bought something on clearance and I bought a stack of them and resold them for about 3 times what I paid for them.
But that's not your job now. I mean, some people are doing that for their jobs.
Well, that's what I was going to say is that it's escalated from there. Like that gave me extra money to buy Christmas presents with. Other people are now like, no, you know what? I'm there at Walmart when the thing comes off the truck. I buy the entire pallet of Lucky Charms. I sell the cards online. I
think that's better than if you go in and you're stealing the cards out of the boxes and then you go and buy the cereal not realizing someone's already got into it. Well, like, I think it's worse. It's even next level.
The thing you got to remember, Nikki, is that not everybody has the money to, like, the startup costs for being a scalper. And
you have to put some money in it.
Sometimes you have to steal those cards and sell them so that you can then start buying them to sell them.
Well, that's why I think it's a little healthier just to not like anything. So that way you're not stealing it, ruining it for others, taking them all that stuff.
Well, that has been the RIOT solution to a lot of things, to just not like it.
And then when you don't feel that hurt when you do start to like something and you can't find it anywhere. Yeah. You want to go through all those stages.
It's a good call. I mean, I found that, if I kill myself inside, I can't feel pain.
Yeah, there you go.
It's perfect.
And everybody else, stop stealing stuff. Will you please?
Stealing Pokemon cards
so those
from
are in
the Lucky Charms.
Lucky Charms and the Cinnamon Toast Crunch. So in some places you might see those with a little security tag wrapped around each end of it. They're trying to stop people from stealing them.
It's weird out there, guys.
You thought they were bad live? Well, just wait until you hear this. The Worst of the RIOT podcast with Obadiah and Nikki.
So, you know what? I've started snoring a lot.
Uh-oh.
You know what? It's just because I've gotten fat.
Now, don't go all the way there. I'm sure the sleep person would say that.
No, they would. Because here's the thing is, I think I'm suffering from fat sleep apnea, where my neck is choking my breathing, or the fat on my neck. And you're like, that's terrible, Obadiah. No, listen, this is the real talk that you can get. I've been to 2 sleep studies, and each time...
It's been a while since you've done those.
It has. But the one time I was like borderline apnea, and they were like, honestly, this is going to go away if you lose about 20 pounds.
Oh, and that was...
And so I did. I lost 20 pounds. I guess I was okay. And I just want you to know that with COVID, I've gained 30.
30 plus the 20 back, or just 30 total?
Not sure.
Not sure.
That's a good question.
Like, when did you gain the 20 back?
I'm not, and again, you're like, that's me. No, I'm fatter than I used to be for real.
So do you want to go back?
I'm wearing this beard to try to disguise how round my face has become. It sometimes works depending on the camera angle, but I mean.
So do you want to go back and do another sleep study, or is there just something you can get to help? Or because you can't, like, I'm sure they prescribe those sleeping things, the masks and stuff.
I don't want one.
You don't want one of those?
I don't have to have it.
Sure. Well, then we know what we have to do.
I know. That's why
no one wants to do that.
I bought new headphones to get to the gym. And I plan on
working really hard on that.
Next year.
Next year.
That's right. So,
well, you still don't know. I mean, you got to take it easy if you go to the gym. Well, isn't that nice? I mean, then you don't have as much pressure. You're not supposed to go in all, Now, Jason just texted and said you're fluffy, so you don't have to worry about that.
Yeah, it's fine. Like,
Fluffy's still having trouble breathing at night.
Fluffy's choking on the fluff. So I gotta do something.
Why don't you look on Amazon? Maybe there's something else.
Oh yeah, they have crap where they're just like
that'll help you at least in the interim.
Put this in your mouth and it'll jut your jaw forward, so that way.
Well, it's a part of the cycle, though. If you don't sleep well at night, then you eat more during the day because you're tired and you're upset, and then you just keep not sleeping well.
Well, it's a cycle, and the way to break the cycle is you either buy the mouth thing and get some sleep, or get to the freaking gym already. And also, stop coming in here and eating mini brownies.
You just ate mini brownies.
I just ate this thing of Little Debbie mini brownies for breakfast.
I did not want to be the one to say that, but
no.
That's there.
Listen.
Fully aware? Fully aware.
I was thinking about it while I was eating them.
Yeah.
I was like, this is why we snore a lot, snore a lot, snore a lot.
The Little Debbie chef guy on the packaging, he's got a round face.
You know what? This guy, he snores like crazy.
Do you think he snores?
He does.
The definition of insanity is putting the riot on again and again and expecting a better result. It's the worst of the riot on RadioU.
Now, isn't your neck size, then it's sized around your waist? Because when you go get jeans, like if you don't want to try jeans, you take the jeans and you put them around your neck, and then if it fits like that, it'll fit your waist with it when you fold them out.
What are you talking about?
Have you not heard that before?
What are you talking about
your neck
right
size,
now?
Like your neck size. If you're getting,
listen, it is hard enough to keep my waist in line with my chest, and now you're telling me I've got to get an hourglass figure. I've got to get my waist the size of my neck.
No, I'm just saying
they don't make corsets tight enough for that.
Never mind. That's just a way to see if you're.
Explain it to me.
Well, if you want to see like if the jeans or pants will fit you. You wrap it around your neck, and then that will tell you if it fits there.
Basically, you're saying your waist is about twice the size of your neck.
Pretty much, yes. So if your neck is getting bigger, or if your waist is getting bigger, then your neck is getting bigger.
Now, that's true. Yeah. I've experienced that, where you're like, I've gained weight, but I'm sure this shirt will still fit.
That's why we're...
Do you mind if the DJ doesn't wear a tie while he DJs your wedding?
That's why we're really into athleisure, because that's very forgiving. Neck and waist-wise.
Oh, you know what? It's fine. You know what? We're going to climb out of this one day.
If you missed out on the next Riot moment when it originally aired, you don't know how lucky you are. You're listening to the worst of the Riot podcast.
I got to tell you, I don't like fish at all.
I don't like to eat fish?
Nothing about fish.
No fishing, no eating it?
I don't like to look at them. I don't like to fish for them. Like, pull them out of the lake and watch them die. I don't like to fillet them. I don't like their guts. I don't like to eat them. Like, there's just the whole thing. I don't like fish.
Okay, that's fine.
I love going to Red Lobster.
For what then?
Cheddar Bay biscuits. Do you know they'll give you as many as you want?
Are they free?
Well, I mean, I think there's an expectation that you're going to order some other food.
But do they make you? Because if you're not embarrassed, you can get past that expectation.
I don't know. I just know that I especially have all these memories from high school where we would go out after church and go to Red Lobster, and a bunch of people from church would go, and they'd drop the Cheddar Bay biscuits in front of us. And before they'd finish taking the drink orders, we were like, hey, can we get more
It's
biscuits?
like when you go to Olive Garden for the breadsticks.
Yeah, but they're Olive Garden's bread. I mean, that's practically white powder compared to the majesty of a Cheddar Bay biscuit.
Okay, I'll let you continue with that.
So, Red Lobster's social media account, this is a win for them. It really is. They have issued a video showing you step by step how to create a Cheddar Bay biscuit, boutonniere, or corsage.
Oh, for prom. That's funny. That's a great idea.
Amazing. And think about it. You're out there dancing. You get tired. You get a little hungry. You just...
How do they say you attach it and stuff?
Glue.
Also, don't eat the bottom layer.
They say hot glue is just about the best. So you take whatever faux leaves and or foliage you feel like you need. You just put the hot glue on there, let it set. Boom. You got yourself a Cheddar Bay biscuit corsage.
There you go. So all you need to do is go in. Well, then what, because you would always go eat after. But if you went and ate, no, you can eat before. You could get some biscuits and then make your stuff while you were there before you went to dance.
Yeah. So, I mean, and there's a couple ways you could look at it. You could go to the restaurant and get them, or, they make them available to make at home.
They're in
not
boxes.
as good. They're not as good, though I will tell you, secret of the pros here, you add some extra cheese.
Oh, just a little extra?
Yeah, because their cheese is like dried and powdered.
Yeah,
but you put
need some real
cheese in there, put that thing in the oven. Oh, thank me later, right? After you wake up from your coma.
So that's what you can do if you want to make a corsage and stuff.
Do you think you snore while you're in a coma? Have you been eating Cheddar Bay biscuits?
You know what? Why don't you Google that on your computer over there? Just want that to be your thing.
Maybe that's the way. Well,
Your
I'm about to make an insensitive comment.
You talk to your doctor like, Doctor, I was Googling about, comas and biscuits and all that stuff. I just want you to find out the answer. So,
medically induced comas for weight loss.
Hey, now, if you could have a break and wake up in a bit, not too long, no safety concerns.
I feel so rested, and I've lost 30 pounds.
I don't want it to be like where you find out it's 20 years from now and you're in space somehow. Yeah. No, not that they forgot you, but I don't want to be a part of that. I just want like a 30-day head start on the weight loss stuff. Just 30 days.
It's fine.
I think that's a good idea.
Boy, I love Cheddar Bay biscuits. We should go get some. We should go get some. And we should get to the point where wearing them on our clothes is perfectly normal.
I know. This doesn't even have to be a prom thing. Like, this could just be a workwear or a day wear sort of thing.
Hey, Bob, that's a nice biscuit on your jacket.
It's the worst of the riot on RadioU.
Nikki, have you ever bought Apple Care for anything?
Way back in the day.
Have you ever used it?
Once way back in the day. But then everything became, you broke it a different way. And so you'd still have to pay something. So now I just don't.
That's interesting.
So it just depends on what you have and how you might use it. You just want to read the fine print.
Okay.
Like for my phone, I have insurance on it through Verizon instead of having Apple Care.
Okay. So Apple Care is no longer the premium product that it once was.
No, it's not. No. I think maybe we became so desensitized to the pricing of Apple stuff. Like in the beginning, it was more like a sticker shock and you thought, I have to protect this no matter what I have to pay. But now you just tend to not to.
So what I'm trying to decide is I'm buying
You don't need it for your... Oh, you're not buying your AirPods. Never mind.
Well, no, I'm buying... But I mean... Same. Powerbeats Pro, $150, no Apple Care.
Nah, probably not.
Not worth it.
I don't think it is. I mean, you do use yours for working out, but you want to look it up and make sure that your workout abuse might...
Oh, it's already breaking the terms of service?
Yeah, just make sure what might break on it first. Is that fixable? Or if you had to pay to get it fixed, is the price comparable to not doing it? I would just look it up and see what people's... negative thoughts are concerning them. So
okay, I went ahead and bought it, but it's not too late for me to change my order.
Yeah, you could.
I could take it back,
but whatever you feel more comfortable with.
Well,
if you want to just live life and not have it.
It's like a tough call because I know there's like it's not that you pay it and then you're covered. It's that you pay it and then you have the opportunity to pay more to get the thing fixed.
Sure. You still have to pay usually something. It's just not going to. And then if your fault, like if your big problem might end up being you're just going to lose them. Well,
yeah, you're screwed then.
That's not going to help you. So you just have to decide if it's worth it. How much was the Apple Care for it?
The headphones were $150. The Apple Care was $30.
That's not. That's not the worst.
I know, but it's one of those things where like it's close enough to where you're like, well, all right, it's 1/5 the purchase price. So do I gamble on? But then I think you have to pay $30 to activate it. So now you're at 2/5 of the purchase price in order to cover the headphones. And I don't know. Feel free to tell me what to do. Give us a text or call.
Obi will go with what gets the most votes, yes or no, if he needs the Apple Care.
Well, at the very least, sometimes you need somebody to tell you something.
Sure.
So when you hear it, you go, no, not that.
Yeah.
And that's not wrong. That person, if somebody does that to you, they're still helping you make the decision. So that's not a bad thing. Even though they didn't agree with you, you helped them.
Yeah, I just don't want you going into it thinking the Apple Care will save you if something goes wrong on those.
Yeah.
It's not 100% how that goes.
Okay.
You might be thinking that this won't be quite as bad the second time around. Well, you'd be greatly mistaken. You're listening to the worst of the Riot podcast.
Nikki, how much have you been enjoying all of the celebrity guests on Jeopardy?
Well, I never watched Jeopardy when Alex Trebek was on it, but I always thought he seemed like a nice host and a nice guy. And I am aware that they're still going through like guest host to figure out who will become the new host of Jeopardy. And that has been, it seems like, challenging for them. Because they're trying a lot of people and people have a lot of opinions about it.
So Anderson Cooper had his guest host run on Jeopardy and his ratings were the lowest of all the hosts.
Why do they have to say that? Why do they have to?
Wouldn't it just stink to find out? You're like, it's an honor just to be asked to participate as a celebrity host on Jeopardy. I mean, like, that's kind of a big deal. It's kind of cool, right? And then you do it, you go out there and you're like, man, I'm doing my best. I hope it's good. I hope you guys like it. Oh, good. I'm the lowest rated. Great.
Oh, no. He came after Aaron Rodgers from the Green Bay Packers or wherever he might be.
Right.
And he had his 2-week Jeopardy guest host stint, and I guess he did really well. But then afterwards, on April 19th, that's when Anderson Cooper started, and just the worst.
So
I like the article. They're like, even below Dr. Oz.
I didn't know Dr. Oz was a host. Did I miss
he filled in for a while. Because everybody's
the worst.
It doesn't matter who they pick. There's always some sort of controversy around that person. And that's what, they're trying to work through, I think. They're trying to test all these people to see who is the least controversial or who do people have the least mean things to say about.
Dr. Oz is like, if you chew rocks and drink green tea, you'll lose 100 pounds, I heard one time.
Well, that's why some people are not as up on his medical stuff.
It's a little hard
or
for
his
me.
Health stuff.
It'd be a little hard for me to accept any kind of a fact coming from Dr. Oz, but we can talk about that another time.
Some might say the same about Anderson Cooper.
Also true.
I don't think
also true.
That rock falls far from the thing.
You know what? Okay. You're right. I didn't think about it that way, but you're on to something.
That's why they can't find someone to host this thing.
Hey, I'm all behind the big push to get LeVar Burton to host it.
Now, did he guest host or will he guest host?
He has not guest hosted as of yet. If you don't know who that is, he was Geordi on Star Trek The Next Generation, and for even longer than that, he was the host of Reading Rainbow. Mm-hmm. And so I don't know, that feels like a great fit to me. I've never seen him work, so meaning as a game show host, so we'd have to get a look at some of his audition tapes.
Oh, I'm sure. So it seems like they have so many more guest hosts, and then LeVar Burton, they say, will close out, I think, the current season. So they're just going to keep doing guest hosts.
Well, I'll tell you right now, I'd be happy to be a guest host.
You want to give it a try?
If you want to see the ratings plummet even farther.
You're like, even lower than Anderson Cooper, and they'll still say Dr. Oz.
Yep.
In case you're wondering, yes, we do get complaints.
They have gone too far. This time, they are going to be held
You're listening to The Riot on Radio U.
So it seems like that just in the world in general now, there's a much bigger emphasis on mental health. I think some of it is awareness, though a lot of people have pointed the finger at social media and have just said, this is the cause of all these problems.
Sure, of people feeling that way.
Yes. And so Oxford University has done a study. They took a look at data from high school students in the mid-90s and then a look at high school student mental health data now. And here's what they found, that social media currently is no worse for the high school mind and high school mental health than it television was back in that time. High school students in the 90s.
Really?
Now, I would like to put an asterisk by this. My observation, not theirs. My TV never slid into my DMs to bully me.
When you take a look or I guess a step back and look at, is this exactly apples to apples, or like how bullying and mental health and stuff can be? I'm curious at what they consider the mental health stuff back in the 1990s.
Right. I'm sure there is a deeper dive to be had here, but the other side of this is that they're not saying it's not harmful. It could just be, let me read this to you another way, social media just as harmful as television for high school minds.
Yeah, that's a better way to put it.
That is another way that you could report this headline. It just depends on how you decide you want to do it. They say, to quote Oxford, there's no smoking gun between mental health and social media.
They say the link between the two is thin at best, is what they say.
Yeah.
They say they found some limited links between emotional problems and social media. So that is something, but outside of that, not really.
But again, there can be a difference between, all right, like there are mental health issues and then there are life issues. And sometimes you're just dealing with the difficulty that is life, but then you've also got people that have actual issues with mental health. And so there's thin lines. That's why professionals can help you find where your line is. But yeah, they say that fear of social media is just like being afraid of television in the 90s. But I'm still saying it. It could be that maybe both are not super great for you. Or at the very least, you got to moderate, friend.
Yeah.
Oh, you got to moderate.
I feel like there's a lot to this research, and I think like you got to go a little bit further in than just even what we've mentioned. Like,
absolutely.
I feel like there's a lot more to that, and maybe it just depends. And again, everybody's different. So for some, social media very well might be very, very much linked and connected, and then maybe not for someone else.
Yeah, well, and of course, as Nikki's saying, you remember you deal with averages when you're dealing with studies a lot of time. So statistically, the average might be the same, but when you have an average, you got people that are above average and people that are below average. You might be above average, but this is a case where that's not really that exciting.
The worst of the riot is over, but the fun can keep going.
Hey, I saw you checking out my goods.
Check the Riot blog or stalk us on social media.
You want to sample them? A little try before you buy, huh?
Through riot.radiou.com.
Great, I don't even fit in the washer.